The point being is that we just don't think putting people inside for the meal will be a really formidable solution to the problem unless you have enough meals to feed everybody, unless you have enough people that care about those that are going inside to meet their needs and connect them with social services. And so our contention is that we can do that, and we have been doing that for free at no cost to the city on the Parkway. And so to stop us from doing this in a bad economy where there's more homeless and less money in the government to help these guys out just doesn't make sense. I mean, we raise a lot of money to feed and to help these guys get back on their feet, and the city can't meet that need. And so the fact that we're getting curbed in it, it just doesn't seem to fit the common sense practices of any business, really. I try and look at it from the city's point of view, which with every argument we have, they could always just say, why don't you do that inside? But the point is, we're volunteers. You know, we raise support to do this, and this is the way that it is kind of evolved. And so we believe that we're trying to reach the ones that fall between the cracks. Obviously, they're out on the streets eating, or at the library, or in the Parkway, because they are in some way opposed to being inside. And it's a little bit of that old cliche of meeting people where they're at, and that is essentially, instead of telling them to come to us, we've just come to them. You know, some people will say you're enabling the homeless to just continue to exist at a low level of survival, but we don't. I mean, that's really not our point. Our point is to help people, and that's really been the simple goal of what we did. We didn't start out saying, hey, we should go down and start an ID program and feed people. I went down, I saw hungry guys, and I got them sandwiches, and then I heard their stories, and they needed IDs to get jobs, so I got them IDs, and then they told their friends, and their friends told their friends, and we never advertised it and called shelters. It was just word of mouth, and it just spread like wildfire because of the demand. So when we pull up right now, there will be 2 lines. This actually, well, there will be a food line, which will probably be 15 or 20 people, and then there will be our ID line, which will be, I'm guessing, like 70 to 100 people. So this is the calm before the storm. It's like this gentle little walk for 1 block before entering into the madness of Monday afternoons, where you just get so many desperate, broken people coming for help and really just trying to find a way to get their lives back in order. And if there was another way, I think they would do it. But for now, in the city, even though the press is to move inside, those indoor places aren't available. So these men, women, children will come and stand in line, and we'll treat them well while we're here. Hope that we're safe, and by the end of the day, we'll have helped a lot of people who are in broken situations. And it's like digging a hole in the ocean. Next week, it'll just fill right back up. So for now, all we can do is handle what's ahead of us.
You know, like I've been told about Adam to come here and get a $10 money order so I could get help getting an ID. But you can't just walk up to Adam and ask him for a $10 money order. That doesn't make sense. Like I just found out there's a line, and right now they're handing out passes to speak to Adam. You know, Adam is a very important man.
And also there are more services that are being presented outdoors for the homeless than indoors. Say for example, food, clothing distribution. For example, toiletries distribution. You know, and in various shelters, they don't have the toiletries to give new people who are coming in. You got to get them out here. If you needed clothes, for example, some of us have like gone from pillar to post, and we don't have clothes. So therefore, there are more clothes readily accessible to those people out here than there are inside.
You know, this is a symbol of Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a poor city. There are people who need to and want to stand in line in the Parkway to eat food. That is what the city is. And it's not the prettiest side. It's not the part that you put on your brochures for tourism. But at the same time, it shows that you do have a city of brotherly love where people are willing to come from long distances to feed the least of these, to say, okay, this is city of brotherly love. I will act in this. That are following Mayor Nutter's call to take your city back in a good way. And so, you know, you have this part of the momentum, which is a really good symbol of Philadelphia. May not be as attractive to the tourists, but I think it shows well for people who care enough to come out and to meet across the line.
My name is Therese Juliana. I can spell it if you want, but Therese Juliana. I've been here with Adam for about 7 years. I'm the peanut butter and jelly lady. My co-workers, we make 200 PB&J on Mondays to be served as part of the meal. Well, I'm alternately enraged and prayerful. I mean, I'm enraged because this works. You know, and they say we're not dignified. There's nothing undignified about this meal. You know, it's served with love. Everybody gets along. It's a fun time. It's a party. So for them to say that it's not dignified, that just infuriates me.
As a former homeless individual, the outside feedings damn near saved my life. It's not such a thing about everyone's collectively in Center City. You have people all over the city that are hungry, and you know, when you find yourself downtown like I have, I've ran into a feeding church right by the Love Park. That peanut butter and jelly sandwich is what got me here now.
See, we get surprises around here too. Like I got a surprise Saturday night, and about 200 people from Kentucky or Tennessee showed up. Well, not 200, kids and everything, with bag lunches and food.
Guys, same as always, beef pasta, tuna pasta, the hot dogs are made of chicken. ID line starting over there, going this way. I'll be with you guys in just a minute. Guys, please don't take your food across the street. Let's make sure we eat here and let's keep this place clean. Obviously, there's been a lot going on with the city about whether or not these meals will be able to continue. We do know that barbecues are allowed and family functions are allowed, so if anybody asks, just say your last name is Bruckner and that you're related to me, and we'll be fine for the next couple of weeks, okay? I consider you guys family as it is, so we're together.
How do you regulate food in the Parkway? How do you address the homeless meals and not address barbecues? How do you address the food that's served at a softball game when someone pulls up with, you know, a pan full of food and not address the homeless meals? How do you regulate ours and not theirs? Well, they say it's, you know, we are public feeding and that those are essentially more of a private issue. Well, these guys don't get invited to barbecues. They don't get invited to softball games. We are essentially the family that they have and the invitation that they get.
I can get a permit and go to a Fairmount Park and have a reunion for 100 people. Okay, is the health department coming out there and checking the food too? Or are they going to do it just for the homeless?
I have my dignity. I may be homeless, but I have my dignity. I don't want to be homeless, and I'm trying to get myself out of it. I have a job interview tomorrow. I have one today, which I can't do the job, but I have a job interview tomorrow. I don't want to be homeless, but unfortunately I am. I am not a drug addict. I'm not an alcoholic. I had a stroke. Okay, that's why I'm homeless, and I am trying to get myself out of this. I'm not some loser, and most of the people here on the streets are not losers. We just want to get ourselves back on track and pay our taxes.
You're looking at one person who is a dignified person. I'm a dignified individual. I'm not stupid, but yet my circumstances and my condition will not detract from who I am inside. I am a man, and I will be treated as such as a man.
And then again, the city would say, well, why don't they just go inside for the meals? And to that, I would say, as much as they probably don't want to go sit at a table. There's a lot of poor people that probably don't want to go sit at a table with homeless guys. These guys probably find more dignity in walking through the park and stopping and getting a hot dog and taking a sandwich to them than walking up to Broad and Walnut and standing in a homeless line and sitting down at a table with a bunch of homeless guys and getting a meal there. You know, take your kid. Would you rather take your kids out to the park to grab something to eat, or would you rather take your kids up to a homeless shelter to grab something to eat if you didn't have enough money for food? I would contend you'd rather do it in the park where you just kind of zip through the line when the lines are short and grab it and walk and go sit where you want. But some would and some wouldn't.
They're going to take all the outdoor meals and put them in one little teeny tiny spot by City Hall at rush hour where there's no parking and people walking by. Okay, how long is that going to last? You know they're going to put a stop to that pretty quick. It's just insane. It's just insane.
I'm gonna tell you this like this here, man.
Tell them how you feel.
Look here, I feel like this here is some weak stuff, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
for people that come out here and waste their time to do this for the people that out on the street and then take it away from those that who need it, that's wrong. You know what I mean? What if they, you know what I mean? You got to think about yourself being on the street.
You know, the big thing is, are you addressing homelessness or just the perception of it? Is this a way to truly help people, or is this a way to hide people? And it seems like the way that it's done now, without the plan for the meals and without the kind of long-term course of how this is really going to help, just saying we'll get meals inside, it seems like what we're doing is just hiding instead of helping. You know, and on the flip side of that is that we work with the youth in the community and we really say, well, how do people become homeless? How can we take a little piece of that away and try to prevent the next step of homeless? And obviously that's through educating little kids and trying to get them on good paths, and you know, working in the same neighborhoods that a lot of these homeless guys come from. And so we don't propose that our meals and that our program is a solution to end homelessness, but we do believe that we're a piece of the process and that we're a valuable part of Philadelphia, and that all of those who serve meals out there play a part in really building these guys up and getting them to believe and getting them to get to a point where they trust that they have value and worth and that they can someday get off the streets.